Take it. So, I mean, listen, we talking about fantasy here. To speak on fantasy purposes, can we talk about fantasy purposes here? I just found out about LaToya Jackson. Hey, appreciate y'all for doing this, showing love. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boys. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. As you can see, this is a very, Jordan, would you say this is a very meaty table we got going on here?
It's not a lot of room over here.
Meaty table.
Spread my arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the squad in the building. Yeah. As always, the super producer, Joel Holt. We got the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid over here.
He's trying to push me off the table.
He's been trying to push you off this show for years.
Mr.
Media
What's going on, guys?
Jordan, JC, and of course,
next thing you know, he sees my face on
the man running the ones and twos, Mr. C-Dub in the building, Superman himself. And we got a lot to get to on today's show. Got to react to this game as a group. Of course, me and Jordan reacted this morning. We were not thrilled. But you may be surprised when we get to the blame game on where the blame is actually placed. And then, of course, is Caleb Williams developing? Finish it off with best and worst, and I'd say we got ourselves a pretty good podcast. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, what's good?
Hey, what's happening?
Everybody good? Everybody good? Y'all knees touching over there?
Hey,
you seem very...
Hey,
now.
Watch it.
Hey!
I got space.
Hey, you know what?
I don't know what you and Cam are going to do because that's a tight section right there.
Right here, so I'm good.
On camera, y'all look like this the Last Supper. Y'all like right on top. You don't get your mitts on.
Mitts is crazy. Mitts is crazy, man. Listen, we got to laugh through the pain because the Chicago Bears have not helped us at all. I mean, it's a tough day when you come in here and you get beat by the worst defense in football right now. Yeah, that's where you at right there with that one. That was a flaccid game right there. That was a real flaccid game. Came out real flat in that game. But no, man, I mean, listen, we got to laugh through the pain because there's a lot that we got to break down on this show that we are pretty sure will bring us some anger and some fury. But let's start it off here. Let's recap.
Let's check in also. Who's in Breeze?
Who's in Breeze Next? Who was number one in this mug? Richard Schaefer in this mug. Said, bear down, we can still be good or still be somewhat good, I believe, in the Bears. Is Crimson in here with a bear down? We got some yurts in the chat. Don Quixote said, y'all packed in there like sardines.
Hey, come on,
Don. Listen, we just like we
King Booker World said, roll the credits on the team. You can't roll the credits on all of us. Oh, the Bears. Yeah, we can roll the credit on the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, we can roll the credit on the Bears.
We can roll the credits on.
We can roll the credits
on
on.
the offensive line at least.
Hey, roll the credits on everybody. Hey, before we roll the credits, let's see what led to today's fury. Your mic is definitely not muted. Hey, we got to recap week 3 here, man, because it was a week that the Bears fall to the Colts 21-16. Offense actually had some movement, 332 passing yards, 395 total yards, 63 rushing yards. Couldn't rush at all versus literally one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They couldn't pass against you, though. Anthony Richardson is dog water. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Jonathan Taylor is not, and he's the one that really was able to get after us. 150 yards as a fantasy owner. Can we talk about it from a fantasy perspective? They gave you every single penalty that they could give you. There were some penalties called I didn't even know we had in the NFL, and they just could not do enough to come away with the win. When you absolutely made up some stuff. When you look at the fact that the Bears could not get it going offensively at all. When you look at how the defense performed in this, I mean, once again, what are we going to say? Who would have expected us to come away with 2 interceptions? Only 3 QB hits is kind of surprising for how this Bears team has played. 55 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, but a defense on the Colts side that legitimately, we're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not good, but they were good this day against the Chicago Bears. 91 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. They were all over Caleb Williams all day, and he still actually had a decent day, which is kind of hilarious to talk about.
Yeah, speaking of that, as we get into the individual players that stood out, Caleb Williams was number 1.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. I mean, he had himself a day, 363 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the day. Need to get those turnovers out of there. Rome Odunze also had himself a day, 6 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. The rookies linking up. Pretty impressive for the day. Something that I actually was excited about. Cole Kmet got himself involved in the game more than he's been involved at all. 1 touchdown, 10 receptions, 97 yards for Cole Kmet.
What a tutty.
You got to love the tutty there. And 8 receptions for DJ Moore, 78 yards. Caleb Williams got everybody involved in this game offensively. Montez Sweat with 4 tackles. He had a sack, had a QB hit, and a tackle for loss, 2 tackles for loss on the day. D-Walk, while he was getting cooked in that second Jonathan Taylor run down the field, he had himself 7 tackles on the day. Tyreek Stevenson on the back end had 6 tackles. And, listen.
Why you go with that picture?
Which one? That's the picture that the Bears put up. That's the one that he took there. Kevin Byard had a beautiful, should have been an interception, but 6 tackles on the day. Jaquan Brisker also pitching in 6 tackles as well. So, listen, gotta love Dex. Dex is looking like the 3 technique of the future.
Yes, sir.
Dex is absolutely looking like that 3 technique of the future. And all of that to say, the Bears lost. I mean, like, it's insane when you look at the numbers, when you look at the stats. It is very tough.
We got Jay Jones in the building.
To sit there and say that the Bears found a way to lose this game. But I'll tell you exactly how as we get into this. I mean, like,
how we lose?
There is a problem that the Chicago Bears have that they cannot fix during the season.
Mm-hmm. But you know what, though?
Yeah.
There's over 100 in the chat.
Oh, 100 in the chat! Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Hit that like button if you have not done so. The Chicago Bears have a problem that they will not be able to fix during the season. And it is concerning. And so you have to find a workaround as you head into week 4 here. But this offensive line, I got a chance to sit there after the show today and break down the All-22. And I mean watching it. You have 5 dudes. You have 5 dudes out there that can't do their job. And that's not fixable. I'm sorry. Like there are. It's not going to be fixed this season. That's for sure. And so you have to find a way to work around it because I mean, like, dog, there were so many plays where, first off, let's go down the line. Braxton Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically playing at flops out there.
He look good.
I mean, like, dog, I don't understand it. Anytime that they wanted to go to the bull rush, they were able to do it. Braxton Jones did okay against some of the swim moves and stuff like that. Yeah. But you want to talk about, I thought Caleb Williams was Santa Claus as much as Braxton was sitting in his lap. Dang. Like, I mean, dog, it was all day. And it was sad to see. Tevin Jenkins, I mean, my God, when you go to that 4th and 1 play, and we got to talk about Shane Waldron and all of that as well. But when you get to that 4th and 1 play with the split option, they all just fall over. And Tevin's the main one tripping over his own feet out there. I mean, it was bad. Coleman Shelton, I've talked about Coleman Shelton ad nauseum. I mean, like he has no idea.
He's the worst.
He just doesn't have enough strength. He's not talented enough. And I don't know if you heard Ryan Poles. I don't know if you heard Ryan Poles yesterday on ESPN 1000 the pregame. Did an interview with Jeff Joniak, and he said it's not a talent problem. He said that it is a technique problem, that he thinks that this can be taught up. I watched Coleman Shelton lock up with defensive linemen all day and absolutely get put on his butt. There's a talent problem there. If you thought Matt Pryor was an upgrade over Nate Davis, you thought wrong. Because, oh my God, I sent a video to you guys earlier. And here's the tough part about it, right? There is definitely enough blame to go around everywhere. But
yes,
there's a lot of expectation on these guys to make plays. I'm talking about your position players, Caleb Williams, things like that. And I mean, my God, Matt Pryor running out in space needs to be the lead blocker here. Watches two dudes go by him, and DeAndre Swift runs right into him.
He said,
I got beef for DeAndre Swift. But at the same time, what are we expecting DeAndre Swift to do when guys are just whiffing on blocks? And then Darnell Wright, I don't know what has happened. I don't know what regression has happened. But, I mean, this is a clear-cut step in the wrong direction for Darnell Wright. He was just getting run around all day. I think teams have figured out we can't run through him. We have to go around him. And if I make a good move, I can get around him. And that is what it looked like. And there's a lot of expectation on Caleb Williams, and there's not enough blocking for him for that expectation to be met. And he still had a 363 day. He had his own faults in this game as well. We'll talk about those as well. But this was we are 3 weeks in, and I said this on the Chicago Bears podcast today. In my mind, where we're at right now, Ryan Poles has failed Caleb Williams.
Well, it's still the beginning. It's still the building the squad. It definitely was disappointing. I mean, we're sitting there watching this. That was hard to watch. That was just like that. The first quarter was terrible. The second quarter was bad. And then like the end of the third, and then it was like the fourth quarter, Caleb started to get into his rhythm a little bit. We were questioning all their play calls, right? I mean, it was like, where's Roshan? Why don't you put Roshan in this situation versus using Swift in that situation? Because every time Roshan got in there, actually, there was some positive.
All of a sudden, they could run the game. Hey, Joe. Yeah, hit the button.
There we go.
No. The zoom in button.
Oh, I don't. You jerk.
How much money does he make?
$1 million.
I think he said.
Y'all arguing paying running backs out here. This man make $1 million. How much money does he make?
No, it's not even that.
It is that.
Still use them. It's not using your personnel the right way.
When somebody makes $8 million, that is the right way to use your personnel if you want to keep your job.
I'm just saying that. But
Let's be real.
No, but to your point, when you look at how that line was blocking.
Hey, kid, if you buy an $8 million asset and somebody used the $900,000 one, but you spent $8 million on it as a business owner, you mad?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you're mad.
As a business owner, can we speak on it as a business owner?
I will say Saquon, though, who you wanted, did have 147
I didn't say
yards.
Better line.
So,
hey,
I'm just letting you know.
Saquon.
You wanted Saquon. I got to back my man up somehow.
Saquon wouldn't have looked as good.
I have no other way to back him up.
If he could do it on the Giants, he could do something.
What did Saquon look like last year?
He still was killing.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Saquon didn't break 1,000 yards last year.
He did not.
897 yards.
The line matters.
And what do we have? Our guys can't get 600.
He
500.
Bro, he has less than 70 yards on the season.
Who?
DeAndre Swift has less than 70 yards on the season.
I think the line has a big part in that.
The line is a huge part in that.
That
but
fourth and one, bro.
Scheme stuff.
That 4th and 1 was the worst.
Talking about the speed option?
The speed option. That was the worst
crazy.
4th and 1 I think I've ever seen. First of all, how did the defense get behind the line of scrimmage within half of a second? You got two dudes falling and tripping over each other. There's no way.
Man, 4 guys.
You can have Sweetness, Walter Payton behind that line, and he's not getting through that. With those guys, all 4 of them dudes in his face.
My favorite line.
Technically, actually. Peyton Wood.
I heard. Yeah, Peyton was behind. Peyton was behind the line that bad.
Walter 4 guys in his face.
That's how Peyton.
Go back and watch some of them 1970s clips of Walter Payton.
Peyton used to get his.
It was 4 dudes just going. Ah! No, it was bad. Hey, my favorite line of the day is from Yurko. he's Yurko's breaking down tape in the office and stuff like that. Yurko goes, Jesus Christ would have been lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And if Jesus can't do it, nobody can.
Are you telling me Jesus Christ can't make a spin move? Kid, what were your thoughts on the game, man?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, that checks out.
It checks out, right? Here we go. Wait, flaccid. Have to be flaccid. There you go.
He's the mid defender.
Well,
I thought Derek Carr was his worst take. His Will Levis defense is the worst by far.
It was in game.
He didn't even get it out yet. He already got the credits. Hey, the 3-game run that Will Levis has had, it's one of the worst I've ever seen.
You can't beat me this one because the reason why it was good is this version right here because Caleb Williams right here. Hey, I beat you to it. Caleb Williams right here, 363 yards, most by a Bears QB since 2016, 63.5% completion rate. Guess what? Don't worry, I'll take it down for you. I know. Realistically, those stats right there, again, with the poor line, everything that we saw right there. The kid in his third game.
So your thought was more about the improvement of Caleb.
This whole season is about the improvement of our quarterback because this is our future. Swift ain't gonna be here next season.
So the season's a wash.
Swift will be here this season.
So you saying the season's a wash?
Some of these people won't be here next season. Like Keenan Allen may not be here next season.
So the season's a wash.
No, the season's not. No. You're overreacting. All right, listen to it. The main thing right now was develop your rookie QB. Do we have the team that can win? Yes, we do have a team that should be able to win. But we weren't able. No one should have had us in Super Bowl contention.
Well, that was just Nick Wright. Nobody else did.
No one
we did not say that.
No
Chicagoan went that far. Every Chicagoan was like, "Whoa, Nick, calm down."
At least playoffs. At least playoffs.
I don't even think that was so. It was only realistic because we looked at our schedule and said, "Hey, we have a weak schedule." But if you really look at it, developing your rookie QB and things of that nature. If we come out with the same record we had last year, that's a win. It's a win because again, we have a year one QB with a bad line.
You're wasting guys.
You're wasting time.
Every possession counts in football. So
hey,
I agree with you on the
football minds more intelligent than us. Say, hey, be patient.
No, but they're trying to
football mind
win.
said we was making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're trying to win.
Commentators said that. I don't know about. Hey, Saban said, "Hey, patience." Hey, when George came out and said he was preaching patience, I now understand what
George who?
McCaskey.
We don't care about George McCaskey.
George McCaskey, the guy that said, I'm not a football evaluator. I am a fan.
George McCaskey is a good enough guy to say, hey, I need to get the right people in here. He stepped out of the way better than anyone else had running this organization.
He was smart enough to get out of the way.
He's smart enough to get out of the way. But to think that he's owned and been part of the ownership of a football team and doesn't know anything about football, stop it, Calvin. Anyway, like I'm saying,
because you're giving the Ferrari doesn't mean you know what to do with the Ferrari. Hey,
stop it, Kid. Listen, I'm not saying he's going to be out there being Lovey Smith or something like that. I'm just saying, hey, you have people who can at least be smart enough to do that.
You want to know what tells you that he's not an adequate football mind?
What's that?
George McCaskey saying, I'm not an adequate football mind. Somebody else come in here and run that. I love George. George a great dude. But George knew. Here's the thing. George was trying to run it like how the family had run it. The family had run it like a bunch of dudes that didn't know what they was doing. George was like, I don't know what I'm doing either. Let me get up out of here. Let me let somebody else do it. Stuff. Oh, but what I will say, what you had to say?
It's over 200.
It's 200 in the chat.
Over 200 in the chat. Here's what I'll say, though. I mean, like, I understand kids' excitement about the offense. I do. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people.
Caleb.
There's a lot of people that feel good about Caleb Williams doing well, Roma Dunze doing well, because that is your future, right? But the problem is you have to win games. If you don't win games, guys will be replaced. Yep. If guys are replaced, you're in the same cycle.
Very much so.
If you win 7 games this year, Matt Eberflus will not be the head coach next year. No. If Matt Eberflus is not the head coach, Shane Waldron is not your offensive coordinator.
I'm not mad at that. Here's the thing. I never wanted Eberflus.
But what you have to have, we have to get out of this cycle. What you have to have is a quarterback that when he's going into his second year, isn't relearning things like it's his first year.
Yeah,
We've never had that. Justin Fields came into his second year, new offensive coordinator.
New coach.
Mitch Trubisky came into his second year, new offensive coordinator. Jay Cutler came into every year, new offensive coordinator.
That's a great, so then talk about that, though. Talk about everyone's giving Shane a lot of flack. And again, the 4-for-1 call bad. But the one thing
line calls.
He has some misses. The thing I love,
two of them. I'm not mad at the Wildcat. The Wildcat got you to the one. Everybody beefing on that.
The thing I love about it though is he's actually doing what we've been preaching this whole time. All last season, Pat was sitting there screaming why we have to pass the ball. What do you say, horizontally and not vertically? We're not getting down the field. We have a whole rant about that. The ball is going down the field. The ball is not only going down the field. We actually see Caleb commanding the line, things of that nature. And even some of the passes, like that second INT, that's actually a good pass. That hits him in the face.
Talking about Rome?
It hits him in the face. It's a tight throw. It hits him in his hand. It hits him in the. He's right there. So it just bounces off. It's not a bad pass. Did he force it? Absolutely. That's your rookie mistake. But the ball, he's letting him throw downfield. And he's not killing his confidence to do so. We killed other people.
Let's take a quick break. Let's hear from our sponsors and let's come back and play the blame game. This is a new game we're going to be playing every now and then whenever the Bears get a loss. Yeah, I mean, we got to play the blame game. So we'll take a quick break because we got a good conversation going here about what we saw in this Colts game where I don't know how the heck we lost to this day. We're going to take a quick break here, word from our sponsors, come back, and we're going to play a new game on the Windy City Breeze, the blame game. We'll be right back right after this. Happening Bears Nation, it's your boy Pat the designer from the Windy City Breeze, where we keep it 100 about everything Chicago Bears. Now if you're like me, you don't just watch the game, you live it, and that's why you need to check out BetDSI. BetDSI is where it's at if you want to put your money where your mouth is. They've been doing it for over 20 years, giving you the best odds, lightning fast payouts, and a platform that's as solid as the best O-line. Whether you're betting on the Bears to take it all the way or making clutch live bets during the game, BetDSI has you covered. And here is the kicker. Just because you're rolling with the Windy City Breeze, BetDSI is hooking you up. Sign up today with the promo code WCB, and they'll give you 120% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's free money, folks, to make sure that you're winning as you back our boys in the blue and orange. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Head over to betdsi.eu, use the code WCB, and start turning your Bears passion into serious cash. BetDSI, where real Bears fans get it done. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https://aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back into another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. We had to get some decorum on this show. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe. That delay reaction. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We've been talking about the Chicago Bears struggles versus the Indianapolis Colts and where we feel the blame lies. And so now we have to play the blame game, ladies and gentlemen. Calvin, you got to call it out because you got to do the announcer voice for the blame game.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the blame game, where we blame somebody for sucking so bad.
That's right, Calvin. And we're going to give blame all the way around. We've got a nice little pie chart involved in this whole thing. We've got blame for everybody out here.
Brought to you by
nobody. Brought to you by the Bears being a piece of.
Man, that's a pie I don't want to pick.
This is the blame guy. It's not my go-to pie. You know what I'm saying?
Not hungry for that.
I fall more in the rocks line of thinking when it comes to pie. You know what I'm saying? That just me?
People strudel.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. I love the pie chart that Joel put together because I think that it, first off, is hilarious. Second off,
because it's 5 people there.
It's 5 people on the offensive line. That's what makes it hilarious. And it's so much.
Why is it the pie slice for them bigger? Like it should be like 50-50.
The whole line.
I need orange to get a little bit more love.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I made it this morning, but the more that, like, when you think about it, like, as you start to really, like, look at the game, digest what really happened, it does appear more like the offensive line was more to blame than it really was Waldron. But what stood out was the bad call in the end zone. But then it's like also with the passing.
There's blame to go everywhere.
It was all the way around. I said it was about 40% Shane Waldron, about 25% or 20, was it 15 or 20%? Split between offensive line and Caleb, and then like 10% for Matt Eberflus.
I think we're missing somebody.
No, Eberflus. Oh, you want to put polls on there or something?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
He can't play this stuff. The jokers are not blocking.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. And this is my honest opinion of all of this. Where this season goes, that was a well-timed tip, my guy. Where this season goes will 100% land on Ryan Poles, and that is where 100% of my blame goes for this week 3, for week 2, for week 1, for this season, because you got arrogant.
You picked the kicker.
You drafted a punter in the 4th round. No, not just that, JC, not just that. Your first move of the offseason for $8 million a year. What did put it back in the chat, Crimson, how much he makes per yard he's run this season? Is it 11,000? 11,000 per yard that he runs this season. You got arrogant and said my first move is going to be a running back. When you don't have a line to protect, and not only that, and maybe, here's the thing, maybe we will be proven wrong. Maybe every single offensive lineman taken ahead of Torrey Taylor will not be a good football player. Maybe every single offensive lineman for this offseason will fail. But you know what you came into this season doing? You said, this is going to be a better situation than what Justin Fields was in. This is going to be better than what Justin Fields did. Guess what? It looks very similar to what we've seen out of Justin Fields. I'm not talking about production, but I'm talking about how you've set this young man up. We are 3 weeks into the season. How many sacks does Caleb Williams have?
9?
13?
13 sacks on the season. He has dropped back over 80 times this season. How many of those has he been pressured on?
Dang near all of them.
Over 50% of his dropbacks he has been pressured on. And I'll say this again. You bring in Shane Waldron, that play, that speed option play, dumb play. You know what makes that play harder to be successful?
Lineman blocking?
All 4 of your offensive linemen laying on the ground.
They're sitting there looking at it like they're watching TV.
That makes things difficult a little bit.
It's comedy, bro.
And we've been here 3 years. You have watched what bad offensive lines can do to a quarterback, and you have literally said, Caleb throws the football faster. He won't have to worry about that. Joe Burrow throws the football fast, has multiple wide receivers everywhere, has a tight end, had an amazing running game. Guess what Joe Burrow was missing?
A line.
2 seasons.
And he
isn't
he missing the elbow?
He's almost missing
a ligament in his wrist or something?
He's missing a knee. He's missing an elbow. He's missing a wrist. That's not the way that you build up your quarterback. And that was my whole – I think people lost the point at a certain point of the Justin Fields debate. I think because I was one of the Justin Fields fans that I was like, if he sucks next year, cut him. You want to know why? Everybody's like, you can't miss the quarterback. You can't let go of the quarterback. What's Minnesota doing? Sam Darnold's protected, has a running game, and has wide receivers.
Such a big difference.
Sam Darnold can't play football, guys.
Trash.
Except all of a sudden he can. Malik Willis, the last 2 weeks.
Geno Smith.
How's Malik Willis been?
Crazy.
Good coaching. Good line.
Better system.
Is that good coaching? Good line?
Better culture.
Did he have 73 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground, and then have over 200 passing yards and a touchdown through the air?
But
in the words of Life Jennings, must be nice.
Hey, I didn't know where you were going with the Life Jennings reference. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that was impressive.
I think that it's two trains of thought, right? I think everybody thought Caleb's coming in a little on the higher spectrum of being able to like carry the team, and then it's also the underwhelming. There was smoke. You've been saying even through training camp, like some of these guys are not necessarily doing Sam Montana.
Here's your best. That is funny. King Booker World said Sam Darnold looking like Sam Montana out there.
That's crazy.
No, here's my problem with all of it.
Number one pick.
What's our best option to fix this right now?
Quick attack.
No. Karan or Ryan Bates.
Put Karan in, period.
One is hurt. One is still labored.
No, they're saying that Karan was full go, right? He's good.
Karan was a full go, but they holding him out.
They're holding him back.
But
there's your new right
guard. Your
guard.
best option on this offensive line, possibly stepping in, because Matt Pryor is not the answer, is Ryan Bates.
Who? But that's who you.
Ryan Bates. I watched him almost every day at training camp. I'm not gonna say every day. I wasn't up there some days because I went on vacation, all that stuff. Found out, I got the kid on the way, all that good stuff, right? You know what Ryan Bates looked like? Looks like a backup right guard. You want to know why? Because he was a freaking backup right guard with a team that knows how to assess offensive line. So I'm sorry when I sit there and I see Caleb Williams throw 2 interceptions because of the pressure in his face, or I see him have a forced fumble because of the edge rusher coming around and knocking the ball out of his hand. Latu Letu with the strip sack, right? I'm sorry that DeAndre Swift can't run the football. But you want to know, when you watch a lot of those running plays, what the definition of that is, why he can't run the football? Because he's getting hit in the backfield. Now, ROC got to put the dude that's able to get 4 yards after contact out there. And Roshan Johnson, I need to see a little more Roshan, because the second you put him out there, all of a sudden it works. But I'm sorry that I can't sit here and keep doing this same cycle that every Bears fan wants to do. It's Flus. It's the running game. It's the offensive coordinator. It's the offensive line. It's Ryan Poles. Because y'all knew what the problem was. We knew what the problem was. Every single person in Chicago knew what the problem was. And Ryan Poles did not address the problem. He addressed the problem with hope.
Well, a little bit of addressing, but not all the way. Like, what I wanted.
What you got, Jason?
Well, no, he's right. He addressed the problem with hope. We talked about the fact
he addressed it a little bit.
We love the fact that he has.
Which one of them has worked? No. You didn't address it. You said I see it. I see the problem. So I'm gonna bring guys in.
He brought a guard in. He brought a center in.
We addressed depth.
They drafted a tackle.
We didn't address talent.
They drafted Amagaji. They brought in Shelton. They brought in Pryor. They brought in Bates.
So you drafted a guy who's already hurt. Yes. You brought in a guy who's already hurt. I'm not making
excuses. I'm saying he did address it to a point. Now, we wanted more talent I wanted a first or second rounder.
I see what you're saying.
Somebody starting now, but they felt good about Braxton Jones.
I'm gonna be honest.
I wasn't a Braxton Jones.
If Karan was healthy, would we be in this situation?
We don't know that. No, yes, you would, because Ryan Poles said at the draft the draft podium, Karan Amageji will not compete for the starting left tackle job this year. He has to catch up. So, yes, you would have been in the same situation this year. You didn't address it. You said Braxton Jones is going to be good enough for this season to get us through this season, and then we can try and figure out if Karan can do it. That's arrogance.
Yeah.
You thought you had time. You don't have time.
Yeah.
I've watched quarterbacks be destroyed in their first season. I've watched Sam Darnold, who is now cooking, spent, the last 7 years dealing with ghosts.
Baker Mayfield
Malik Willis
tore
of
his shoulder
Tennessee.
up.
So the story of the game is it's all about coaching and what is surrounding that quarterback. And when you don't have nothing protecting that quarterback, and I'm sorry, this year we're screwed because who's going to trade with us to give us what we need?
You're not
going to
get an offensive
We're
lineman.
not getting anything. Where's the free agents out there? Is there any free agents out there that's going to protect Caleb? There
was.
We ain't get him
So
because we paid $8 million. Go ahead and say it.
That's the thing. It's like obviously, I appreciate Ryan Poles for all the great things he has done. We've called him King Poles for a reason, but man, he missed the ball on identifying what is a good lineman, what is a good offensive line to protect your quarterback. There's no reason why Sam Darnold's doing well, Justin Fields played well. It's because they got a good line in front of them.
But I'm a challenge that everybody acts like there's just these great linemen at where you're picking and where you can sign. It's just there. He may, based off of their scouting, say, I'm not going to overpay for this guy just because there's a tackle available. I'm not going to draft this guy because of whatever. I'm pretty sure all of their boards said Joe Alt is number 1.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure that after that, nobody expected J.C. Latham to go first over Fashanu. It was Alt, Latham, whatever. We don't know what their scouting process was. I truly believe that he said, look, I see my quarterback of the future. I don't have to worry about a quarterback now for the rest of my career as long barring injury. And I'm going to sacrifice. I got to sacrifice to get me these playmakers. And then maybe I build a draft. I truly believe that's what he did.
You know who else said that? Ryan Pace.
Yeah, but the difference is Poles is set up to actually do something about it next year.
And the difference is he actually picked the right
Pace
QB
is a gambler that was gambling and giving a lot of picks away.
But
he tried to right his own wrong.
He picked the right QB.
He tried to right his own wrong.
We assuming that he picked the right QB. I think that he did. I hope that it does work out. But when he's not going to be the right QB? On his back.
Is when
the
he's
dead
hurt.
one? D-E-dead. I get that. And here's the thing. What did Ryan Pace do? Ryan Pace picked, I don't care if you think he's a good quarterback or not. If he's your guy, protect him.
I think
that's what the NFL says.
But
that's literally what no matter what team you're on. Sam Darnold's winning.
Yeah.
Why could Trey Lance come in and play football? Because he was behind the San Francisco offensive line. Why can Brock Purdy do it? Why can Jimmy Garoppolo do it? Why can Matt Stafford go to the Rams out of nowhere? Why can Baker Mayfield play one game with the freaking Rams and he wins the game? Because he's protected. Protecting the quarterback is the most important thing that you can do. And Ryan Poles didn't even take a swing at it. That's a problem. Yeah. I'm fine with you if you swing and miss. I'm fine with you if you draft Joe Alt. Nah, Joe Alt is kind of a hit, even though he's hurt right now. I'm fine with you if you draft Jackson Powers Johnson. He start off the season hurt. You're trying to address something. I'm fine with you if you trade up, you go get J.C. Latham. He gets hurt during the season because he's hurt right now. He got hurt in the last game. You got to deal with that, right? You got to figure it out. But you're swinging.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than watching the third strike go past with a man on third in the bottom of the ninth. That is a sin. You better swing. You better try. Yeah. You haven't tried. Yeah. Coleman Shelton ain't a try.
No, they brought in two.
The Rams said we got to.
They brought in Bates is supposed to.
Ryan Bates is not a center.
I hear you.
Ryan Bates has 150 lifetime snaps at center.
I get what you're saying.
But he did address it, whether they're not necessarily stepping up. That is one thing.
You literally just said, "Hey, if you take a swing and you miss, I'm okay with that."
So that's what I'm saying.
It's no rookie that would have been better at center for your rookie. Like that pairing rookie on rookie typically doesn't work. And you've said it yourself.
No.
Like realistically,
a rookie who spent his life playing a position is further along than a dude that gets thrown in there because he knows the ins and outs and the technicalities of that position. Jackson Powers Johnson has been playing center since he was 11.
Right. The issue is, though,
Ryan Bates has been playing center since 2021.
But if
it literally was, hey, we need you. Hey, he dead right now. We got to pick his body up. Get out there.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I get it. But it's just like, hey, if you get that pick and he suffers like most rookies do, he struggles, then the argument is, you picked this rookie to start for your rookie QB and he doesn't know this, he doesn't know. It's like,
well, no, now
because
you know you got a
there's
rookie.
grace because he's a rookie. We've seen first round offensive linemen struggle in their first year, struggle in their second year. Heck, who's our boy the Green Bay got at right tackle?
Jordan Morgan.
Jordan
He's
Morgan.
hurt.
No, not Jordan Morgan. Not this year. I'm talking about, what was it, last year, 2 years ago?
Oh, I don't remember.
Buddy struggled.
We just talked about it.
Buddy struggled for 3 seasons. And then they were like, man, move him over here, see if he better. Now all of a sudden he's an all-pro.
Well,
Like that, this is my point is you drafted your piece, your guy, your ace Boo Coon. You go down with Caleb Williams. No matter what, you are tied to the hip with Caleb Williams. You're not getting another quarterback. This is your role. And you said Braxton Jones is good enough. Coleman Shelton is good enough. Nate Davis is good enough. That's a problem. And so when I look at the pie chart on the blame game of who I'm upset at, I can't be mad at Shane Waldron for calling run plays that should work. When my offensive linemen go, oh God, my back. I can't be mad at DeAndre Swift, who I think is not good and you shouldn't have paid him. But you can't tell me he's gotten a good showing at it. I can't be mad at my rookie quarterback. I'm pointing the wrong way. My rookie quarterback, because he don't got time to throw the football. And this is the same freaking argument I had last season. And everybody said, Justin's the problem. This is where you're at. You don't know how to build a team yet. And that's my problem.
but you're still dealing with rebuilding a team.
You had a chance to build these pieces, though, Joel.
No, my point is that when you change leadership and you change coaches and scouting, there's a whole group of people
100%.
that when you do that.
We're in year 3 of that. That's already changed.
I understand that. But my point is that you're still building. It's not the only holdovers you have, even from the Pace regime, is probably 2 or 3 players. So and the cupboard is bare. So we have another draft and we're set up. It's just disappointing because there was a little bit where everybody's disappointed. Technically, it's still early in the season.
Joe,
It's 1-2, but my point is, I'm not trying to make excuses that say that polls. Yes, we are all disappointed. Is my point. What I'm not doing is sitting here and saying like, "Oh my God, gloom is doom." We have a quarterback where it looks like we actually have a quarterback
The Texans,
for the first time in a long time.
The Texans had a quarterback in 2002.
I mean, we know about David Carr.
Yeah,
and they couldn't protect.
He
him.
was a good quarterback.
We're not that bad.
Yeah, you are.
That line's not that bad.
Joe,
we are.
Joe,
bad.
we're 3 games into the season.
We're on pace for
This
that.
is almost historic.
What is 13 times 4? No, dude, let's do some math here. What is 13 times 4?
He's on pace.
I got it.
He is about to be Derek Carr or David Carr. Yeah. They killed that mug.
He got hurt. He got sacked a lot last.
He didn't
week.
get hurt.
This week. No, this week not.
He got
as
sacked
bad.
4 times, Joe. That's a lot.
I'm just saying. Look,
I don't want him to get hurt. Like, I'm not saying I'm protecting this.
It's just disappointing because you're still building a squad.
It is disappointing, but I like the comparison about building a house. When you build a house, what's the most important thing to start?
Foundation. You got to put the concrete.
So in the NFL, the foundation is what?
The trenches. I've always said the
O line and the D line.
The trenches is where it's built. Yes.
You need somebody to try to stop the quarterback, and you need people to protect the quarterback.
Right.
We got everything outside of that. We got the nice windows. We got the big screen TV. I think you mentioned this earlier. We got the big screen TV, but we ain't got the electricity working. Like we're doing everything backwards. But we should have started with the foundation first, which is protect your rookie quarterback so he can continue to maintain his confidence.
Or it's not that. It's just poor evaluation of your talent. We already now. Like
I don't even agree with that.
No, because we love polls.
No,
Right?
what
did we say?
No, it is poor evaluation of your talent because before the game, Ryan Poles literally said, "We don't have a talent issue. We have an execution issue." Buddy, I don't know what you're watching. You got a talent issue. Braxton Jones is locking up with dudes going, "Oh, here we go. Hey, Caleb, you ready? Here we come."
I told you this before, and I still stick to it. I think he's making an excuse. I think he's not stupid enough to think that this is the best that we can have and that it's just about execution.
No,
I think he knows his hands are tied for this year and he can't do anything about the talent level on the line.
I'm telling you,
but JC,
he gambled to get the quarterback, and that's the
he didn't
sacrifice.
gamble. He got the number one pick. He didn't gamble the number 1 pick. He gambled the number 9 pick.
No, he could have sat
we
there.
We could have traded back and got their line address.
What did we say before? Even if he just keeps Fields, right? Because you could win with Fields. There's a cap with Fields. He trades.
We all knew that.
Look, if he trades the number 1 pick and does another haul, he could do that. He could have stocked up on 2 linemen.
He couldn't do that.
If he goes the 1 to 2.
No, what I'm saying is like the whole way it worked out from a financial play. He kind of already addressed it. He couldn't do that.
Yes, you can. You know why? Because
You would have to start talking, having extension conversations with the Steelers. Are not having. With
you
Justin
only
right
pick
now.
up. You got to tag. You tag him for $20 million, right? If he's still mid,
I ain't.
You let him go.
Now you let him go, but you still picked up all these picks. The other thing is that you're now getting a stockpile of talent that's still on rookie contracts. So another 4 to 5 years of $2 million, $1 million. Not, I mean, only Rome and Caleb, they're up there. What, $8 million a year?
Yeah, only your top picks.
But you're getting, if you picked up more, the issue is you got to get this line right. They're believing in a 5th round left tackle who is pretty much average to mid. I never necessarily liked Braxton Jones.
Hey, listen, he's performed above average.
The only one I like was Tevin. That's the only one I like.
He's above average for a 5th round pick. That don't mean that's what you stick with,
right?
And I think but here's my problem. I don't think Caleb is a gamble. I said 3 games in, Caleb processes football way better than Justin Fields does.
Way better.
He does. He goes through his progression better. He finds his guys better. I think he's got to work on that deep ball, but he's also getting pressured all the time. But he processes better. We can say that right now. You can see it. He's processing the game better. He can call audibles at the line his 3rd game in. He is further along in year one than I would say Justin Fields was in year 3 with us. Yeah. Right? I will concede that point. You know what doesn't matter at the end of the day? I can make all the pre-snap adjustments. I can read the defense perfectly. If I'm laying on my back, I can't throw the football.
I do want to put this in context though, because we all mentioned a lot of names and stuff like that. CJ Stroud is only 2 sacks behind Caleb for kind of leading sacks in the NFL. Matt Stafford is always up there. Dak Prescott is up there. Brock Purdy's top 10 actually. So it's a lot of people. But
there's a difference in. So you're looking at the numbers of actual sacks. There's a difference in being sacked and being pressured every single time I drop back, and that's what the Bears have faced. CJ Stroud is not pressured every time he drops back. His pressure numbers are nowhere near Caleb Williams, and I'm just irritated that we're back in the same situation of pressures in your face, and then we go, well, now Caleb Williams is the problem.
In the face.
Because we've already seen that in the comments and stuff like, I never thought Caleb Williams was going to be good anyway. We can see y'all, by the way. Y'all know we saw it. Like, we can see y'all tweets.
Those people just wanted to hate in the first place. They was just looking for something to say, told you we should have kept Fields. And that's just stupid. They just don't want to admit what they can clearly see.
But here's the thing. Even with that, again, my point with Fields was if he sucks, he sucks. But you know what I can do? I can go out and get a competent quarterback and put him with this defense, and he can go a long way.
Brock Purdy.
So going along to this, back to this blame game, though, when do we start talking about Matt Eberflus? When do we start talking about Shane?
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not blaming Matt Eberflus.
I get more time. I think he needs more. Everybody got to adopt to a new offense.
He is who he is after 3 times.
Shane. I mean, you still got to adopt.
Shane don't need more time. Shane calling the same system as last year.
And this is 3 years for Eberflus. There's not a lot of time.
Eberflus are more like, all right,
what Eberflus is good at?
Here's why I don't have a problem with Shane Waldron. And I thought I did. I have a problem with Shane Waldron. I have a Shane problem with Shane Waldron's short yard calls. His short yard calls are terrible. Okay. Why are you going left and right? It irritates my soul. Yeah. It pisses me off to no end.
I think we're about to say something.
Run the dang ball forward. I feel like Sandra Bullock's in The Blind Side. Run the dang ball, Lou. You know what I mean? But here's where I have to give Shane grace. Shane is calling plays that should work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think he's being creative enough? No. I don't think he's being creative enough at all.
I kind of disagree with that.
He's not. He's not using. It took you 3 weeks to figure out Cole Kmet. It took you 2 weeks to figure out DJ Moore. It took you. This is the first week we've seen at all that DeAndre Swift has been split out as a receiver when that's really the reason that you wanted him on the team. That's the only reason you bring in DeAndre Swift.
It's good you say that week 3, not week 9.
But they used the season.
In week 3, he's figuring it out, and we're going down
the training camp to get that stuff done.
I shouldn't be 3 weeks into the season, and the best offensive performance I'm talking about.
This is the same crew that just sat there and watched them play last season. Was like, the first 4 games don't really matter to professional football.
No, the first 4 weeks didn't matter to the Bears because they didn't play anybody in preseason. The Bears played everybody in preseason up to the 4th game this year. They played Nate Davis in the fourth game. You played your team all the way up. So that means that you should be prepared. Last season, you didn't play anybody, which means you're basically conceding we're going to suck for 4 games.
I think week 3 is a little early on that, though.
On what?
I think it's a little early for like Shane. You've seen the progression of it, and you've seen Caleb get more comfortable each and every game. And the play designs, especially downfield, have looked really good.
Yeah, but the problem, kid, is you're calling play designs downfield. He's getting the football out in 2.5 seconds, and they can't protect that. That's a problem.
Play can't develop.
Your 4th and 1 plays are a problem. You shouldn't be running speed. No, college teams don't run speed option on the goal line. Liberty football isn't running speed options on the goal line. That's moronic. That's idiotic. But the grace I have to give them,
4 people.
at least if you run the play,
4 people face down.
my offensive line is in the wrong direction. So as much as we want to blame Shane Waldron, and maybe you can find a play where you're like, I don't like this design. I don't like how you set this up. I don't like the protection in front of them. I can't blame nobody on this. I can't even blame the Bears offensive line. You want to know why? Because they shouldn't be in that position. They shouldn't be there.
I think Coleman said that, right?
3 of them 5 shouldn't be there.
What did he say?
Coleman Shelton literally said we got to call a better play on the goal line.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be there. Coleman Shelton shouldn't be your starting center. I can't blame them. They didn't put themselves in this position.
Well, like I said, I think it's undervaluing your talent and not realizing what's going on. I still think that offense takes a while to take effect. I think they're using the first 4 games of this dang season. It's disappointing because we're all sitting here excited. I mean, we have a quarterback. We're talking about Bear Force One, and these jokers got a broken wing. broken wing.
They got a propeller plane.
They can't
I like this comment from Numb AZ. He said 50 plus passing plays and we're defending Waldron. Here's the reason why I'm defending Shane Waldron, because I
go anywhere.
No, not even that, because I want an offensive coordinator. The thing that Luke Getsy didn't do that Shane Waldron did in this game, and it took Lance Briggs to say it, and I had to go back and watch the tape, and it is true. I want an offensive coordinator that's going to call plays to combat what the defense is giving you.
Well,
what did the defense do all day?
Blitz or
pressure. They played 8 in the box. If you're playing 8 in the box, that means you got 8 or 9 up front.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are. You're literally saying I'm selling out on the run. I will make sure you do not run this football today and that Caleb Williams has to pass.
And
so
52 times.
If you're throwing the football, that is the right call for that moment. I understand we want to force the run, but it is not easy to run on 8 in the box. It is much more difficult even when your offensive line is falling on their back. And so to me, I'm not mad at this situation because I have an offensive coordinator who called plays that combated what the defense was doing. That's what I want to see. What I hate from Shane Waldron in this game is a 4th down call on 4th and 1. A 3rd down call where you got DeAndre Carter blocking 94 off of the edge, and he's getting absolutely lit up, and Khalil Herbert gets wrapped up immediately.
180-pound difference.
I hate the personnel usage that you've thrown out there on some of these plays. I'm not absolving Shane Waldron, but what I am saying is that how he called this game particularly made sense for how the Colts defense was running.
You know what's crazy is it's still and I'm not trying to make a million excuses for the Bears, but we've said this the last 2 weeks. We've been in a position still where we could have still won multiple times.
Yeah.
One thing I will give this game grace on is the fact
they had it.
Caleb Williams looked really good going into the 4th quarter.
He did.
He started moving the ball down the field, and I think he started to understand I'm not going to go for the big play all the time. I'm a dink and dunk. And Cole Kmet was his safety valve a bunch of times. Him and Roshan Johnson were getting those first downs consistently going down the field. I think the big play was when Latu, got to him and strip sack.
Yeah, that was
mad. I would like to believe that they could have probably marched down the field and got this game, for a W.
I'm with you. I think you're 100%. And it looked like, again, the because these are games that's supposed to win, and that's what hurts so much. But you're seeing the development. Actually, I guess we could pivot into the transition.
Yeah, we probably
to the
should.
next.
We got 7 minutes left in the show.
We're talking about the
development of Caleb Williams
development
over 3 games.
Is Caleb developing? I mean, after 3 games, he's already went from 93 yards to 174 yards. He went from 93 yards with a 48.3% completion. Week 2, 174 yards with 62.2% completion, and then week 3, 363 yards. 63.5. That's really good. 63%. That is what you want from your NFL quarterback. Anything over 60% is a win.
Looks like he nearly doubled his yardage every
How
game.
much do you put into the fact that we do
Next week it'll be 600.
736 yards?
Doubling every week.
That's what he did every week. He
He'll
doubled
be
it.
past 4,000 passing yards in week 8.
Let me ask y'all this:
Jesus.
how much do you put into the fact, though, that it was versus a defense that we know is absolute dog water?
But it's
Because
more-
that doesn't change.
But
Like, your offense played so poorly, it made the defense look good. This Colts defense is horrible.
I
But
do
it-
agree with
to
that.
me-
I think the level of competition matters. That kind of goes into how the stats look a little bit more glorified. But at the same time, the way that he played, to me, especially going into the latter part of the game, I feel like I was more confident in what I saw as far as him being able to move the ball down the field, regardless of who was out there. I feel like he had really accurate throws in the middle of the field to Kokomet. I felt like he checked down to Roshan a few times, and Roshan just got yards after contact.
Got the
Like I
yak.
said, got the yak, and then they went away from it.
Yeah.
So that's where yes, the competition level does matter. You know, you wonder if he can do the same thing like against the San Francisco, or
Well, that's my
Philly.
thing.
No, but
Yeah,
you want
Mitch
confidence builders.
Mitch fans always go back to the Tampa
Detroit.
Bay game like
Hey.
that was the
6
game. And be like,
touchdowns.
6 tutties.
Yeah,
This
that-
guy's got it. I was like, they were playing man coverage and pressing the entire game.
Yeah.
Mitch just said, all right, I can throw it over him.
But it's about confidence building. I mean,
Thank you.
my thing is that he threw 52
Thank
times, but he could also been 48% completion. He could have been throwing the ball and throwing.
It could have been worse. I give you that.
He had at least 2 or 3 dollars.
Like Anthony
Hey.
Richardson.
Hey, you got a defense for Anthony Richardson?
No, I don't.
And
that
Anthony
man
Richardson's
trash.
the second-year quarterback, right? He could be Anthony
Garbage.
Richardson over here, second-year quarterback.
Second-year
What?
quarterback.
We need to pull his yards up.
Hey,
117.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this, man. Anthony Richardson start running towards you, you better watch out because he look like Cam Newton when he start running.
Yeah,
he
shoulder
don't throw
go
like
out.
Cam
Hey,
Newton.
yeah, exactly.
He don't throw like Cam
Exactly.
Newton.
Hey,
Hey, listen.
he don't throw like Cam Newton. You know what I'm gonna do when he start running towards me? Hey, Tremaine, I need you to hit him real quick.
That's true. He got a gang tackle, man.
I like the fact that you saw those deep ball, the accuracy on it. It was there.
It got better.
It
He
got
started
better.
to
Game
get
over
his
game.
timing was
Who?
starting.
He overthrew wrong.
Oh, Caleb.
Caleb.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Anthony Richardson. I was like, the dude that just I was like, he trying to hit another scoreboard.
He did overthrow Rome on one of them. It was like at least 8
Like,
yards.
he
And I
overthrew
was
a lot
like,
of passes.
yo, that was crazy because that could have been a tud. But I agree. I do think that he has improved a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, he, like I was talking for week 1, I was saying he's him. We're going to the moon. I'm holding on, putting on the brakes.
Yeah.
Put on the brakes.
I felt more
Going
like
to the gas
he
station.
was. I felt like he was him in this game, just because now you can really see it. I get it. You want to say play that into your competition, stuff like that, but guess what? It's not the worst team we're gonna play.
What happened is
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
No, Carolina is worse.
What happened though is that
Carolina
it took
definitely
them.
worse.
Fair enough.
It-
Carolina.
I give you that.
We wasted 2, 3.
Hey, but
3
it's
and a
not
half
much
quarters.
difference.
We wasted 3.5 quarters of that game before it finally. I mean, it was just a slop
So it finally
fest.
clicked, right? Yeah.
It was a
And-
what?
Slop fest.
Spell it.
Slop. That's L-O-P fest. It was terrible.
Well, that still feels wrong. I'll allow it. Man, I was nervous.
It's his third
The
professional.
review on the play
No,
is
but the whole point.
call stand.
What we've
Call
been,
stand.
Yeah, call-
Stafford.
what we've been saying is you protect your rookie quarterback with a strong running game, and the problem is the line can't seem to establish this running game because that one play you're talking about with Pryor. When you look at it, if Pryor makes that one block,
That's a 20-yard run.
Easily.
there were
If
lanes.
he makes that one block, it is a one-on-one situation with whoever 47 is, and give me DeAndre Swift in
And
that moment
he
all day.
cuts left.
Good.
That's when he's good.
He
In
cuts
space.
left. So there are moments and there's been moments even when Caleb has had time to throw. Rarely, but he's had time where he wasn't necessarily pressured. So
The play action plays were really good.
They were really good.
there is improvement.
But you
It's just
can't-
that they're supposed to win these games.
But you know when you can't run play action plays?
When you run.
When I'm not worried about running the football.
Yeah, I know.
And then when did the play action plays work? When Roshan was in at the end of the game.
Sure was.
Hey, Joe, how much money he make? How much money he make, Joe?
Makes $1 million.
Oh, okay, all right. $8 million.
Well, I wanted Saquon.
I don't want Saquon behind this line. He 879
That
yards
first,
himself.
Sorry, I don't.
How'd you all feel about that first INT?
First INT is
I
a
wasn't
terrible
too
pass.
worried about it.
That was a terrible pass.
It was late. It
He
was
shouldn't have
definitely
thrown
late.
that.
Like,
I wonder if he
like
slipped.
He went through his progression.
No.
Every time I
Took too
saw
long
it,
to
it
get
looked like
over.
he slipped.
Nah, he
the-
did.
the
He just
issue
threw a
is
bad
that-
pass.
no,
That was a bad read. It was a bad
read.
There was a couple reads in this game where going through the all 22 where it was a bad read. It was a bad pass. Like it was
the second INT wasn't that bad.
the one when he gets down because y'all remember when we get down into the red zone, the only reason we get up there is because of a pass interference penalty. The pass to DeAndre Carter, terrible read. Roma Dunze pops open on the right side. No, I'm sorry. The pass to Gerald Everett was a terrible read. He throws it into double coverage. Roma Dunze pops open right over here. Never looks Rome's way. That's a rookie thing to do, though. I mean, he's sitting here looking left at Gerald Everett like, you getting this football. And now, as if he goes through his progression, maybe he gets to Rome. But again, he's been beat up all day. He's probably sitting there thinking, I got to get this ball out quick.
Yeah.
That's the man I'm throwing it to. Here it comes.
the silver lining
Coming fast with a hot and ready.
That's where it's coming.
the silver lining to me is that what's happening is the narrative isn't so much that it's Caleb, it's that it's an exposure that it's the offensive line. Like we don't, for the first time in a long time, we like Justin, but it was questions about Justin. Trubisky kind of had questions, but we might have
Ain't no kind of.
No, some people.
Mitch came out with questions.
Remember the 2018 year when we're going to the playoffs, it's like, yo, and then there's a regression the next year. That's when the questions started.
Mitch looked like Sam Darnold.
No, but in the 2018 year, everybody was kind of happy. 2019, when there's a regression with Matt, the wheels fell off the next year.
I felt like there was hope. I ain't gonna lie. There's a video of me. I'm not gonna cap, and I'm never gonna sit here and go back on the point. I definitely got a video out here after that 2018 season saying Mitch Trubisky could be the white Cam Newton.
You do have.
It is still on the channel to this day.
So my point is that
I was like, he got it. Here we go. I was like, he can run more.
Hey, he gave you a lot of hope for his second season in the
But what you learn later is about.
But
what you learn later is about coaching. It's the scheme. It's the line. All of those things are factors. For the first time, I think in a long time, we feel like no, we have our quarterback. Now we got to protect this guy. We got to get let him as he's growing because he's going to have to even now you're seeing Patrick Mahomes is not playing that great, y'all. You seeing it? You see attrition of that line.
Yeah,
you're seeing some of those talent pieces that he has aren't there. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill. Kelsey's getting old. That line is not the same line he got when he first got there. I'm just cooking, by the way. So my point is that
he don't love you, dog. That's what it is.
I be forgetting I got access to the buttons.
Yeah. So
that's on me. That's on me.
What's the button?
But the point is that you have a quarterback. So now it is exposing this glaring issue that we're still rebuilding the squad. Yeah. We've always felt the defense was good. We just don't want to waste this defense again. And we got to really invest in this line. It's gonna take another year.
Team, and I think that's the thing. Like it's a young team, but this don't last long, kid. That the Super Bowl Legion of Boom was a young team. They got old real quick.
I get you.
When you start getting beat up and banged up, we have been so fortunate. We are through 3 games through the season, and nobody major on the defensive side is hurt.
Yeah. Well, Darryl Taylor almost died.
That was crazy. Me and Joe were talking about it on the field. He was laid out. I was like, is it over? Like, did they kill him? Do we need to call somebody about this?
I saw that for a minute.
He was laid out for a minute. I was like, I thought Torrey got banged up a little more than he did. Let's finish it out here, man. Let's get into our best and worst. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Let us know your thoughts on is Caleb Williams developing. Let's finish out the show with our best and worst because Monday Night Football is coming on, so we got to get up out of here.
Let's get up out of here.
Best and worst of the weekend, the time where we get to talk about anything that we saw over the weekend that we felt was our best and worst. Anybody got a good start? Anybody got a good one to start?
I got a good one.
Oh, here we go. What you got, kid?
Justin Fields.
You want worst the best? You want worst the best? Oh, I was about to say you.
Going best. My worst is in the same game.
Is it the offensive line?
The worst is Justin Herbert. So both Justins
Okay,
playing.
all right.
But no, Justin Fields, 25 of 32, 245 yards, one passing TD. I thought he also had a rushing TD too.
He did.
One INT.
He did.
He did.
Looked good.
Never have thought I'd see today. Well, Bears kid.
Listen, he's 4 years in.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If he had did it on the Bears, he'd be like, well, I don't like the legs. Pass a little better. Pass a little better.
This right here, I live with this all day long. But you know what? I'm happy because I always felt like we failed him. I'm on the show saying we failed him. It was time for us to move on. And I'm happy he actually got to a spot where he could have the opportunity to win a starting job. Looks like he did. He has the opportunity to really develop with a competent coaching staff. Mike Tomlin has been a great coach most of my life.
Correction, right? Ryan Pace failed. Fields. Keep going. Go ahead. That was a Pace failure. Pace drafted him.
Yeah, Ryan Pace did draft.
Poles was like, we'll see.
No, but Poles moved on from him.
No. My point is that it was really Pace failed him.
I got you. But
up.
all in all, it's like, hey, typically in a situation like that, QBs don't get many second chances, and he did immediately. And he worked hard for it. It's paying off for him. And I'm happy that he's 3-0. I really am. He did it against the other Justin that everyone says is a top 10 QB in the league. He ain't looked like it realistically.
Defense, though.
Defense is swarming.
He's got a ceiling.
Pittsburgh is elite.
So I'm happy for him in that respect. And also just wanted to crap on Justin Herbert in that whole experiment over there. Because 125 yards, 12 of 18. At least he didn't throw INT.
They're not asking him to do nothing, though.
Yeah,
they literally just like go out there.
The lineman?
They did. They drafted Joe Alt.
Yep.
They both got hurt in that game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chargers. They're putting him at the
Anybody
right
else? Best of the weekend? Best of worst of the weekend?
They kind of stole my. I mean, that's
we know you were always in on a
I
Justin
did that on
Fields.
purpose because you know what my first one was? Andy Dalton.
I was gonna say that was a great best. That was a great best of the weekend, dog.
My worst is I was just trash in fantasy this week. It was like nobody's doing
Nobody cares.
anything.
Oh yeah.
You want me talking about somebody dying or what? I mean, I'm trying to get relevant to sports. And then, you know what I'm saying? I got plenty of that.
Please don't. Please don't.
Jeez.
How much death you got going on around you, Joe?
I don't know. I'm just saying. You want me to
He said, I got plenty of that.
You want to talk about Diddy? That's the worst. I don't know.
That was the worst.
No,
That was the worst.
That's pretty bad. I mean,
that
the
part
downfall
What
of
are we doing
hip
first?
hop.
We doing best?
Do the best. Do the best. Do the best. What you got?
Best. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to keep it simple. Caleb Williams to me is still progressing. I like the fact that he threw for 363 yards. Took a lot of pass attempts, 52, but completed 33 of them. So you love to see the progress. We talked about it, and that's what I want to see is the incremental progress continue with him.
I'm gonna second you on that best. That Caleb, seeing Caleb come out with 363 was like that's encouraging.
That was refreshing
because we really haven't seen a rookie quarterback in a while. Who was that? Was that you? What did you just say? No, I think
2016.
Kids with that lineup. So
Yeah, most is 2016.
So I was basically Trubisky.
Oh, how did I do that?
What you got?
He distracted.
God dang!
Oh, fantasy looking bad? That fantasy looking bad over there?
Rome had 20
For
points.
fantasy purposes?
Hubbard had 24 points.
Oh, you said wrong.
By the way, I do have Justin Fields on my fantasy squad.
How's that going for
How
you?
many points did you
I
get?
got 20 points. So
Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Shout
I
out to
do got
that.
a worst.
What's your worst? What's your worst?
Into worst.
The Bears
me
O-line.
and P Kid, we were at a restaurant the other day with some friends of
Oh,
ours
boy.
after the assembly, and I got to admit, I got mini steaks that were on the menu. It was called the medallions. It was called something medallions on the menu.
Were you let down by it?
I was very let down. It was like steak fillets. Yeah, it was yesterday. It was like steak fillets. They put this like blue cheese crumble, thing on the top of it. And I got it medium like I usually do.
Yeah.
But very underwhelming. I'm not going to mention the name of the restaurant. I'm not trying to trash them, but I will not be
Keith
going
Lee
there
do
and
his
getting
thing,
steaks.
What, Keith Lee?
No more steaks for me there. That's all I'm saying.
I love that it just comes down to steak with this guy, no matter what.
I
No
usually
matter
have
what.
a good meeting weekend.
I want y'all to know, I don't remember steaks being on the menu.
There were many steaks. It wasn't like a big porterhouse or a big like ribeye. It was the mini. They were like cute little round. It was like four of them.
Hey, dog, if you say so.
I'm just saying, bro.
I was at the same restaurant.
There were steak fillets.
Wasn't steaks on the menu.
It was. I'm trying to tell
There's
you.
short ribs on the menu. Wasn't no steaks on the
bruh,
menu.
they were called medallions. They were
What were they called?
They were called medallions.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right,
there you go. Hey, listen. Listen, once the show is over, we're going to Google the menu.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't
no
remember
problem.
the steaks being on me.
I know it ain't.
They brought him steaks from another restaurant. They're like,
Shout out to
steaks.
E-Dub, Eric Sam.
Look at this fucking guy ordering steaks.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, man, let's get up out of here, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love, as you always do. For the super producer, Joel Holt, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid, Mr. Meaty himself, very meaty on this show, Jordan JC, and, of course, Superman C-Dub. Y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Bear down. One love.
Hey,
Peace.
y'all know y'all both 0-2?
Who?
You and Joe
And what?
in fantasy.
That's impossible. We 3 weeks into the
It's
season.
about
Oh.
to finish.
How can you not be 0-2?
No, we'll be
Because we 3 weeks into the season.
the week
It's
isn't
like-
over yet.
The week isn't over. It's a game today.
So you
So
saying we
we
0-2
3.
right now? And what
You-
league am I 0-2 in?
It's not the
HFL.
Second week. It's got to be more than that.
No, I won week 1 in the HFL.
What
I
that
thought.
say right there?
Am I 0-2?
It say 0-2.
It does say 0-2.
Am I?
But that
You
means
0-2.
third
You're
week's
0-2,
not-
Because
Pat.
today is the third game.
Yeah.
Right.
Today's the last game. So I'm just saying, like,
The third
y'all
game
both
is-
y'all both
Looks like I'm
0-2.
gonna go 0-3.
Smells like some bullshit afoot.
Okay, listen. I just want y'all to know because I'm 2-0, about to be
I'm sure you
3-0.
just think-
I just want y'all.